And we are live on another edition of the K and K Sports Show. Another week, another full crew. Not only full crew here, full crew backstage. Graham, what is up, my friend? How are you, Graham?
How's it going? It's great to be back for another show. Can't believe it's already been a week.
And it's great to have another Bronco win. So let's go, baby. I'm ready
Heck
for
yeah.
that. I'm ready to
Right, he
say
has
this
a
week
fellow Bronco
too.
fan, fellas. He has a fellow
Let's
Bronco
go.
fan
Let's
on the
go.
big
You're right. I
board.
got a partner now on this show. Now I'm not solo. But full panel here. Lots to talk about. Carson Shear, what's going on, my friend?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Lions got another win. Pistons openers happening in about 5 minutes. Again, good luck to your Knicks this week, guys. Rough loss last night, but that's all right. We got a long season ahead of us, and yeah, should be a fun show tonight. Welcome, everyone.
Mr. Rosen.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Graham. Good to be back around the table with everybody. And hey, listen, what can I say? Another bad giant loss, embarrassing. We won't talk about that any further. And one, like you said, Carson, one loss in a long season.
Yep.
If it was in the middle of January, no one would care. But I will end by just saying congratulations to my New York Mets from 0-5 to OMG. What a great season. It had to end sometime. Dodgers were a better team. And listen, I can't ask for anything more.
Well, let me ask you real quick. Biggest offseason for the Mets in a long, long time?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. They have $170 million coming off the payroll. And David Stearns has already said there's a lot of things they can do. And in fact, they're going to allow Pete Alonso go out there, test the market, see what the market bears, and let us know. So it's going to be a very, very exciting, interesting offseason.
And last but not least, Mr. Kirkpatrick. You look like a good student today. You know, you're like up,
Hey.
you're up straight,
Yeah.
you're up ready to go. You're like ready to go.
I did my homework. I'm ready. We're ready to roll. Graham, thank you for being backstage and helping us produce the show tonight. Got a hello from a Michael Ronquillo, everybody's friend Michael Ronquillo, Kurt's fellow Bronco fan, Graham's fellow Bronco fan. Michael, say hello to Graham as well, because Graham is backstage. But tonight, guys, we're all Pistons fans because the Pistons are facing our arch nemesis, Indiana Pacers. And Kurt, before we get started, we ain't doing no show.
I'm gonna cry, right? Rick Carlisle, he's gonna cry. I can't wait to see him Friday night.
There it is. Now we can get the show going. I promised Crybaby Carlisle from Kurt Halliburton. Let's go Pistons. We're all Pistons fans. We want Pistons to do well. Let's get Carson to 1-0. And got a nice agenda for everybody. We got World Series baseball. We got NFL football, college football. But to start the show off tonight, guys, in Kurt Valenti fashion, Kurt's going to put us on our toes and the chat on his toes. Kurt's quick hitters. Let's go, Kurt.
All right, here we go. Let's start it off. Last night, I'm going to be honest. To me, it's not a big deal. I've always said this. Any sport, when you go on the road and it's banner night, it's a nightmare to play, right? Everyone's fired up. You got everybody from the organization there. Everyone's crying, kissing rings. It's hard. To me, not a big deal at all. Our season really starts Friday night. Carson, big deal. The Knicks lost by a ton last night in Boston.
Yeah, obviously, like Paul said, if this was, a game that was in January, it'd be one and done. Who cares? Move on to the next game. Obviously, opening night, there's going to be more viewers. So I don't think it's a huge deal. Just stay healthy and you'll be fine. Blowouts happen all the time to the best team, so no big deal.
Paul.
No, not a big deal at all, as I just said. I mean, let's face it. They've had new players come in, short preseason. They didn't all play together that much. So, you know what? It's one and done. Move on, turn the page. I always say I'd rather get blown out than lose a 1-point, 2-point game.
Yep.
A ball here and there, a free throw. Forget it. Move on.
Kenny.
Yeah, I agree with Carson and Paul. I mean, Kurt, one short of 33 pointers. I don't think many teams are going to win that. So they were hyped up with their banner. And hey, congratulations to the Celtics. But you know what? That ain't gonna win games all year long. Okay, you're gonna live or die by the three. You're gonna die as well. So let's go now. If we lose against Pacers on Friday, which tell everybody where you're gonna be Friday, Mr. Valenti. I know it's your quick hit.
New York City, baby, at the Garden.
Nice.
Let's go. First
Let's
time
go.
ever, home opener, Indiana.
Let's go.
I'm ready to go. I'm
Good.
pumped.
Get us some pictures, videos for next Wednesday's show
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Kurt, I'll let you continue. We'll get some hellos in after your quick hitters.
Okay. Second question. Little breaking news this morning. DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs. My quick hitter. Does it move the needle with making Kansas City a lot better, Carson?
I think it's definitely going to open up their offense a little bit more. Pacheco's supposed to be back either this week or next week too. So, obviously the rich get richer. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is going to hurt the Chiefs, but thread the needle to Super Bowl factor. I don't think I'd go that far just yet, but he definitely helps out the Chiefs.
Paul.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with Carson. I think Hopkins he got a new lease on life now, coming from the 1-5, 1-6, whatever the heck they are, Titans, now going to a 6-0 team. I think it's going to be a shot in the arm, like an adrenaline shot for the Chiefs. They've had so many injuries to their wide receivers. I think this is going to be unbelievable for Patrick Mahomes and the Chief offense.
Kenny.
I'm more on the board with Carson. I think it's going to help them a little bit. I just think, Hopkins is getting up there in age. I think it's more going to be more of a defensive team with this Chiefs going forward. And their defense is playing pretty good. So I think it'll help them. I don't know if that's going to be the Super Bowl move yet, though. I got to see it before I believe it.
Okay. Carson, give me the next big name that gets traded in the NFL.
Wow. Myles Garrett.
Paul.
I said it last week when we had this question, and I saw something today. Cooper Kupp might be going. So, didn't know anything last week, but then his name is out there, so it wouldn't shock me.
Kenny.
Paul stole my thunder with Cooper
Oh,
Kupp.
sorry, Kenny.
And Carson stole my other one, but I'll go bold. I'll go bold, and it's going to be the Carson's Lions, Mason Crosby.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Paul, going off of yours, give me a team. I'll start with Carson, but give me a team. Cooper Kupp to who that makes a big deal if Cooper Kupp goes to that team. Go ahead, Carson.
Baltimore Ravens.
Paul.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Kenny.
Same division, Washington Commanders.
Whew, okay.
But I'm waiting for you. Could say Broncos. Graham wants to put it in the chat. You could put Broncos up there and
I
answer
would
that
take
question.
him. I would take him. I would. I
Yeah.
would take him. Next one. Sunday night. We had the 3 TVs here. We had the Mets Dodgers game 6. We had the Jets Steelers. But the game that I was most interested in, guys, the Liberty and the Lynx. Carson, did you watch the WNBA final game 5?
I respectfully did not. I saw highlights after the game. I know there was a controversial call that sent them to the free throw line to force overtime. But congrats to Liberty for winning their championship.
Paul, did you watch it at all?
I unfortunately did not. My Mets took front and center even over the football game, so I unfortunately did not. I heard about it. I saw the highlights, like Carson said. Congratulations. They're going to have a ticker tape parade
Tomorrow, I think.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Kenny.
I'm disappointed in myself. I did not watch it. But let me. I know I said let's catch. We got a lot of comments coming in, so let's take a couple second break. We'll start with Patrick saying aloha, boys. Good friend Patrick Wiltsey out there in Hawaii. Aloha, boys. Thank you for all the good things that have been said about my Broncos. Graham saying go Broncos. Eddie Murphy, good evening, gentlemen. 7-0 and Knicks didn't get the memo that the season started last night. Eddie bragging about that fantasy football. Kurt's on your tail, I'd say
Listen. What's more? Does Eddie? Who has more? Eddie wins in fantasy football, or people who are going to watch the net game tonight? I'm going to go with Eddie 7-0.
I'm gonna go with you there.
That's
Our
good.
good friend Jody Moncrief from Denver Bronco
Jody?
Roundup. Kurt, what's up, Jody? Tuesday, Fridays, and post-game Sundays, you can catch the boys, Keith, Albert, Jody, and Trevor. Mahomes is 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's a Kansas City problem.
Yep.
He's
We'll
saying
get to that.
Tampa. Max Crosby from Michael Ronquillo to the Detroit Lions. So you got 2 votes for that, Carson.
Let's go.
And Graham saying Cup to the Packers would be good for Jordan Love. All right, Kurt, I want to just catch up on
I
those
got
comments.
2
so we
more.
don't
And I'm
fall
going to
behind.
ask this question every week on the quick hitter. Every week. Next year, the New York Jets head coach will be who, Carson Shear?
Wow. Belichick.
Paul.
Ben Johnson.
Kenny.
I'll go. The guy, yeah, Ben Johnson sounds good. I'll go Ben Johnson as well.
You know who I'm going, right?
Rex Ryan.
Belichick.
Because he's going to go right to that office and say, Woody, if he's not the head coach, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done.
Hackett.
Going to be your head coach. Think about it. No, but think about this. Think about this. How crazy is this? They said the Jets really screwed up this year. They said if the Jets made him the head coach, then the defensive coordinator would have called the defense. The offense, if they would have switched to Downing to call the plays, it would basically be like a promotion, but a demotion. It would be like, you're not calling the plays. You're basically just like the head coach. You don't going to do anything. Rodgers is going to run it. So why not? Think about it. Why not? I'm telling you. What you guys think I'm crazy? Rodgers is going to threaten to leave him, and I'm telling you, the Jets have no answer. Who are they going to get? Sam Darnold back?
Well, I got to disagree, Kurt, because Eddie Murphy's got the perfect coach for the
Coach
Jets.
Breslin?
Coach Breslin. Let's go.
Yeah, no lie. All right, my last one. Do you guys like the way the baseball goes in the ALCS? I'm sorry, the Championship Series and the World Series, where it's 2-3-2, as opposed to basketball where it's 2-2-1-1-1. Carson.
Yeah, I do like that. I think if you start off hot on the road, you come back home, you can win the World Series on your home field. So I like that.
Paul.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's one thing in baseball I would not change. It's been forever that way of scheduling the game. So I would keep it that way.
And Kenny.
I like it because it doesn't really give a home field advantage, in my opinion, because you're going for 2 for the first 2 and then 3 by 2-3-2. Getting some breaking news. I don't know if that's accurate about Salah getting hired by the Packers.
Why
He was
not?
at practice. I don't know if he's was hired.
Might be a consultant. Who knows? A
Good hire.
defensive
It's
consultant.
That's a good hire.
He was best man at Matt LaFleur's wedding. By the way,
Wow.
All right, those are my quick hitters for the day, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
nice,
Nice, Kurt.
Good job, Kurt, as always.
great.
It is breaking
Definitely,
news. He has joined the Packers.
Wow.
Hmm.
It's a good move for them. All right, so we're gonna move on, fellas. We got the World Series starting Friday. My New York Yankees, Eddie Murphy's New York Yankees. A lot of fans in our group chat, or not group chat, our audience, Yankee fans. I don't know too many Dodger fans out there, but it's East versus West in the World Series, the 2 favorites, Paul. You got some World Series questions, and then you got a couple New York, LA questions for us.
Yeah.
Pass it
So
off to you, my friend.
probably this was what baseball wanted all along. Yankees, Dodgers, 2 biggest cities, 2 biggest organizations, best records. So 2 biggest stars, obviously Ohtani, Aaron Judge, throw in Mookie Betts, throw in Freddie Freeman, throw in Juan Soto. It's a perfect array. But my first question to you guys is, with all those stars, give me a surprise player. Could be a pitcher, could be a hitter, who might be the key guy that might decide the series. I'll start with Carson.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think I could give you an obvious one.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
Give me one for the Yankees first, and then we'll do the Dodgers after.
Okay. Jeez. I'm gonna say their catcher.
Austin Wells.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, he's been in a slump, but he might break out. That was a good selection. Kenny?
Another guy who's in a slump, but I'm going to tell you why. He knows the National League. I think Jazz Chisholm's going to come through in this World Series for the Yankees and be the guy that got off to that hot start. A time off, that's good for guys that are slumping. I like Carson's Austin Wells pick, but I'm going to go with Jazz Chisholm. Let me get a couple. After Kurt goes, we'll get to a couple comments, Paul, so we'll stop for a second.
Kurt, who do you think?
I'm going to go a little different direction. I'm going to go Verdugo. You know, I think that I like his excitement, right? I think in the World Series, you got to get that little like cockiness player of, you know, I don't know. It's something I like about him. You know, he's not just a home run or bust player, right? He could steal a base, right? He can, you know, if he has to make if he has to bunt in a big spot, I like him. I'm going to go Verdugo.
Okay, good.
Let's get some comments. Our good friend Trevor Salzman. I want to get Trevor up there. What's up, boys? Great to see you all. Jody's on with us too. Denver Bronco Roundup. Eddie Murphy saying Cole versus Flaherty is game 1. So Flaherty did struggle his last game out, and so did Cole. Eddie Murphy's going with Jazz. Good friend and long. I haven't seen him in ages. Kurt Carson.
Yes.
Paul. Marty Joins saying hello. Yep. Surprise player. He's a Commanders fan. Marcus Mariota. LOL. Good stopping in, folks. Keep it rolling. Marty, great to see you. Hope all's well out there with you and your family, and keep it rolling as well, my friend. And keep in touch as well, for sure. And Eddie Murphy saying, Dougie reminds me of Swisher in so many ways.
Good.
All right, Paul, just want to catch up on some
I'm going to quickly say Anthony Rizzo. He's been there. Played in the World Series. Dodgers only really have one lefty. So Rizzo could be a key. Let's start with Carson. Give me a player on the Dodgers, hitter or pitcher, who might be a surprise.
I'm going to go with Max Muncy.
Nice. Kenny?
It's tough. Muncy possibly. I'm going to say somebody I haven't seen much of in against the Mets. Gavin Lux. I think could be a sneaky player here for the Dodgers.
Yeah, he didn't play that much against the Mets. You're right.
I think he could be sneaky against the Yankees pitching staff.
Yeah, Kurt.
I'm going to go with a guy where he never gets mentioned, right? You always mention Ohtani and Betts and Hernandez and, you know, like Muncy. But what about Kiki Hernandez, man?
Yeah.
I mean, how many home runs does this guy have, you know, in the postseason? It's like his time to shine. The moment's never too bright for him. And you know what? He's going to have his opportunities because, you know, you expect the Yankees to kind of pitch around, you know, the better guys and to say, hey, if you beat us. And I think he has the potential. He's beaten a lot of people in the postseason. So I'll say Kiki Hernandez.
Yeah,
Cool.
I have him on my list. I'm sorry, Ken.
I want to take Gavin Lux back. I did have this guy written down, so I want to pick this guy instead. The home run derby champion, Teoscar Hernandez.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, pitching around a lot of the key players. He might have an opportunity. But yeah, I had Kiki also. He's had like 14, 15 career postseason home runs. Crazy. All right. Which manager would you trust more making right moves in this series? Dave Roberts or Aaron Boone? Carson?
Wow. I'm going to say Dave Roberts.
Kenny?
Hope I'm wrong, but I'm going Dave Roberts as well. He's been there before.
Going against your guy.
Yep.
Kurt?
Do I have to pick one? I'm going to have to go Dave Roberts just because he's done it. Until Boone does it, I agree. I can't with Kenny. Until he does it, I am going to go with I'll go with Roberts too.
I'm going to sweep the board. I mean, not that I'm a big Aaron Boone fan, but I don't know. Some of the moves that he's made this year, you just have to wonder. And like you said, Roberts has been there. So I think I would rely more on him. All right. Let's
Eddie,
talk
let's
about
get a couple
MVP.
comments. Couple
Yeah,
comments
go ahead.
real quick. Eddie Murphy saying, you think in the World Series, Cole and Rodon have to pitch on 3 days rest with the money they're making. Michael, we're going to be talking about we're going to get that question in a second, our prediction. He's asking questions, so we'll get that in a second. Eddie's also saying no one's going to be 4-0, sweep 4 perfect games. And he's also saying Boone has done a hell of a job with the bullpen this postseason.
There you go. All right. MVP. FanDuel has Juan Soto at plus 550 winning the MVP. Just some other numbers. Ohtani is at plus 220. Aaron Judge at 250. Aaron Judge at 500. Soto 550. Mookie at 750. Stanton at 950. Kurt, who do you think the MVP will be?
Who do I think it's going to be, or who would I put money on? Well, how are you asking me that?
Who would you
If
put
you're putting
money
on it, that's who it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you have Kurt's money, you could spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. A man
I mean-
bag of
I mean,
shells.
honestly, I would bet Juan Soto, but I think because I think the Dodgers are going to win, I'm going to go Mookie Betts. I'm not going to go Ohtani. I'm going to go Mookie Betts. So
That's who I had also. Kenny.
I got to go Soto. I'm going to go Yankees. And if the Yankees are going to win it, it's going to be Soto.
Carson.
Yeah, I'll say Ohtani for the Dodgers. But value is Giancarlo Stanton. He said plus
Yeah.
900. He
Yeah.
showed up in the ALCS, so that's a value play right there, Giancarlo.
Yeah. Yeah. Teoscar Hernandez is at 27-1. Max Muncy, I think, is at 30-1. So, that might not be a bad play either. All right.
Paul,
Let's
real
make-
quick.
Yeah, go
Eddie
ahead.
Murphy has a question that you might be able to answer. I don't know off the top of my head. Kurt, if it were Carson, if you know, please
I'm not
answer.
sure.
Has there ever been an MVP from a losing team?
I can Google it right now.
I think there has been. I couldn't name the player right off the top of my head, but I think there has been.
Football, I
MVP.
think football with a Super Bowl loss, I think there was one.
Yeah,
believe.
there was a Cowboy player.
Yeah, Cowboys. Yeah.
Back in the early Super Bowl days.
Bobby Richardson, 1960 World Series. He's the only
Yeah.
person ever.
Yankees.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
There
Right.
you go, Eddie. Hopefully
Good.
you're listening. We got that answer for you.
Okay.
Michael's saying the Dodgers might be overlooking the Yankees.
Great.
Possibly. All right. So let's make our predictions. Kenny, who do you have?
Yep, and Michael wanted to know, he asked it, who's going to get their series ring first, Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge? I'm going to go Yankees in 7. You got the 2 teams they want in, and they're going to get it in dramatic fashion. Yankees get it in Game 7. Juan Soto is going to get $800 million next year. He's going to be the difference maker in Game 7.
Kurt, who do you have?
I think a lot of people, I agree with Michael on this one. I think a lot of people are saying this is going to be easy for the Dodgers, and I don't believe it. I don't, when you look in the series against the Padres and the Mets, like Mets scored a lot of runs against them, like when they give up runs in bunches, right? So, and I think the Yankees will be able to score. I don't think it's going to be a pitching duel where it's 1-0 games. I think the matchup kind of works for the Yankees. I still think, though, the Dodgers are going to win. I'm going to go opposite of Kenny. I'm going to say 7 in an epic Game 7 series, but I'm going to say the Dodgers in 7.
Carson.
Yeah, hopefully the Yankees can win for our friends on the show, Ryan and Kenny and all the Yankees fans out there. But yeah, I'm going to say Dodgers, though, in 6. Listen, they got the best player in the world in Ohtani. And with that, I got to go with the Dodgers for that reason.
Guys, any chance he pitches at all?
No, he will not. They
Kenny?
said he was definitely not.
Did they say definitely? I'm going to say there's a
they
chance that if they need him for 1 inning late or, a batter, why not?
Yeah, no, I mean they asked, and they absolutely said he will not pitch.
Okay.
So, not that I have other information anyway.
Well, we gotta stop the show right now because your beautiful wife Luby's saying hello, and she said hello twice. So I gotta get it in before you
What's
continue,
up,
Paul.
Luby?
She's saying,
Hi,
"Hi,
my love.
boys. It's nice to see
Thank
you
you.
all relaxed."
Thank you. So listen, watching the Dodgers against the Mets, they have a great team. They have a great team. The one thing that the Yankees will see with the Dodgers, they do not go out of the zone. They make you pitch to them. They will not go after bad pitches. So if there's anything the Yankees will learn is that if they're not in the strike zone, the Dodgers, all of them, are so disciplined that they will take walks. Max Muncy, the guy became a walk machine. All right. So that's the concern I have with the Yankees. If they start nibbling, I think it's going to be a difficult time. And like Kurt said, I think it's going to go 7 games. And even though I feel the Yankees have better pitching, I think the Dodgers are going to win dramatically. Last of the 8th, last of the 9th in a great World Series. So Dodgers in 7.
Breaking again, Paul. Paul, I want to break this out. Patrick over there in Hawaii, he's on YouTube now. Lion Coffee, Kona Coffee. He wants to know if anyone needs coffee. So if you all need coffee, Graham's already saying he can use some. Paul, get me his address. I'll get you the addresses, Patrick, and we'll get absolutely. I could use a little. Carson, if you want some coffee for you, your family, just let me know, and I'll get Patrick the addresses, the mailing addresses, and he'll send them out to everybody. Good. So thanks, Patrick. It's great stuff, by the way. It's always greatly appreciated. Big shout out for the vanilla macadamia nut that they got.
Nice.
Sounds
real quick, last couple comments before we move on to the New York LA part. Yankees have the most walks this postseason, so it's the same on our side. And our good friend PA Scratcher guy saying, Patrick, I need all the coffee. What's up, PA? Hey. Great to see you. All right, Paul, switch gears a little bit. You got a little fun little part for us.
So like we do with the Super Bowl, New York versus LA, would you rather? And of course, New York, the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps versus La La Land and Tinseltown. So let's do a little comparison, New York versus LA. First category, greatest player for each team. For the Yankees, Carson, who would you say the greatest player for the Yankees is?
Oh my gosh!
Well, let me just say this. Let me compare the two. We'll do it that way. Babe Ruth or Jackie Robinson?
Babe Ruth.
Kenny?
Gotta go Babe Ruth.
Kurt?
Yeah, I think you gotta go Babe Ruth.
Yeah, as much as Jackie did what he did, Babe Ruth, I think, just epitomized and transcended the early part of baseball. All right. Greatest pitcher for each team, Whitey Ford or Sandy Koufax? Kurt?
I'm going to go Sandy Koufax for this one.
Kenny?
Can't be a homer on everyone. I'll give Sandy the edge.
Carson?
Yeah, Koufax. Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, Whitey Ford was amazing. Great pitcher, but Sandy Koufax was incredible. So we'll sweep the board. All right. Song. There were a few New York songs I thought of. Empire State of Mind, New York State of Mind, but hey, Yankees used the song New York, New York. Would you rather hear that or California Dreamin'? Carson?
New York, New York.
Kenny?
You don't have to ask me. New York, New York.
Kurt?
I think this is the easiest one tonight. New York, New York.
All right. Let's go to singer. Few singers, Billy Joel, but I'm going to go with Joey Clam's favorite, Francis Albert Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes, or I Got You, Babe, Cher. Kurt?
Oh, Sinatra.
Kenny?
Sinatra, and I want to add one after Carson. Yes.
Okay, Carson?
Yeah, same Sinatra.
All right, I want to add one real quick. Kurt, Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie.
Nice.
Carson.
Oh, Tupac.
Paul, you got one?
Tupac.
I'm going Biggie with Kurt. This one's a tie. We
It's
need a
tie.
tiebreaker from the
We need
audience.
a tiebreaker.
All right. Let's talk about food. New York pizza or a dirty water dog or an in or out burger. Los Angeles in or out burger.
Mm,
Carson.
wow. I'm from Detroit, so I'll say In and Out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kenny.
Pizza.
Kurt.
What's actually shocking is I would eat In and Out, I would eat the hot dog, and I would eat the pizza. So I would actually eat all three, but I'm going to go the pizza. That's my
Yeah.
favorite food, so I'm going to go pizza.
I'm going to go pizza and a dirty water dog. Nothing like that. Carson, when you
real
come to
quick,
New York, we got to go for a dirty water dog.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm down.
And real
right.
quick, Michael broke the tie with Tupac.
Oh, okay. There you go. Famous celebrity fan. Jenny from Castle Hill in the Bronx, J-Lo, or Magic Johnson? Kurt?
I'm going to go Magic.
Ooh. Carson?
Greatest point guard ever, Magic Johnson.
And Kenny, are you gonna back your fellow Yankee from the Bronx fan?
Yes, because I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a single guy, and I'd rather see J-Lo at a game than Magic Johnson. So.
I'm gonna tie the score. I'm gonna go J-Lo. All right. Famous attraction: Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, or the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Kenny.
Real quick, Graham, if you don't mind blocking that one comment that came up. That PA Scratcher guy saying nothing beats New York pizza, especially when in Brooklyn. Trevor saying I got to try some of that New York pizza.
Oh, it's the best, man.
Yeah.
It's the best.
When I was in Florida, I missed it tremendously.
Anyway, so what was it, Paul? What was that question?
Famous attractions: Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, or the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I've never been to the Hollywood, so it's got to be New York. So I'm going to go to New York.
Okay, Carson.
Statue of Liberty.
Kurt.
Yeah, that's just iconic. So I'll go Statue of Liberty too.
All right, me too. And last thing, famous street: Broadway or Rodeo Drive. Kurt.
I'm going Broadway, man. I got to go Broadway. I mean, come on. Broadway. That's where we're going to, is that where we're going to, no, we're going to be, where are we going to have our parade this year? Canyon of Heroes?
Yeah,
But,
down Broadway. It's
Yeah,
lower
down
Broadway.
right? Yeah. So I'm going Broadway.
All right, Carson.
Broadway.
Kenny.
Broadway.
We'll sweep with Broadway. All right, that's it.
That was
Thank you.
fun, Paul. Thanks
you,
for
Paul.
like
Thank you.
that. You know, hopefully we get to do one with Carson for the Super Bowl, Detroit. That'd be fun to get some Detroit stuff in there.
Absolutely.
And Trevor
Motown.
Nelly said Kenny would rather see Mariah Carey at a basketball game. And Eddie saying Rodeo Drive, I just think of Mighty Ducks. LOL. All right, guys, we're a little over the halfway point, so we'll catch up a little bit here. We got next on the agenda is going to be Carson's Corner with a little NFL and then an NBA question for everybody to wrap his segment up tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. Yeah, we'll do 2 quick rapid fire NFL questions, and if we have time, depending on the time schedule, I got an NBA question for you guys. So Pat Mahomes, Chiefs are undefeated, 6-0. But Pat Mahomes has thrown an interception in every single one of his games this year. He's having a career low passer rating, but somehow, some way, he was the betting favorite to win the MVP before Lamar Jackson's 5-touchdown Monday Night Football performance. Now Lamar is the slight favorite over Mahomes. So my question to you guys is, does Mahomes deserve to be voted right now based on the betting odds as a second favorite to win the MVP despite his stats? Kenny.
Yeah, real quick. When I gave Graham the agenda, he answered a couple of questions. So he gave me his take on it. He doesn't think he deserves MVP. He could get it because he's Pat Mahomes. It's not dictated by his actual performance. So he thinks it's more of like it seems to be a joke with the popularity contest. And I tend to agree. I mean, I don't think he is the MVP of the league right now. Yeah, they're undefeated, but that it's not him that team's undefeated. Their defense is playing pretty well over there in Kansas City. So I'm going to say I'm going to have to look a little deeper, but I'm going to say someone else deserves that MVP over Mr. Mahomes. I'm going to pass on him right now.
Kurt.
I agree with Graham and Kenny. I absolutely not. I said this a couple weeks ago, and people thought I was nuts, but the Chiefs are a run the football defensive team first. It's like Mahomes will make a couple plays here and there, no doubt, but MVP, I mean, Carson, your quarterback deserves it more than him, right? I mean, you could look at a bunch of people, and listen, I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan, but he's higher right now than Mahomes, right? So no, I mean, listen, I might even look some other positions before I start looking there, but absolutely not.
Paul.
I'm going to disagree with you guys. I think he is. I think maybe right now Lamar should be number one, but I still think he should be up near the top. They're 6-0. Now, hopefully he'll have Hopkins as his main guy, wide receiver, after all those injuries, and let's see what happens the rest of the season. But I think he clearly is not having a Patrick Mahomes season, and maybe we're spoiled. But I wouldn't dismiss him for the rest of the year to be maybe going back to what he always has been over the last the first part of his career.
Couple comments from Graham. Mahomes is Brady in popularity, and Mahomes isn't the only quarterback to make those no-look passes.
Yep. Stafford was the king of that. Yeah, but no, there's a crazy stat that I wanted to pull up. The Detroit Lions and their offense, they have more offensive touchdowns scored than Jared Goff has incompletions on the season right now. So that alone screams MVP for Jared Goff. But I kind of agree with a little bit of both you guys. Again, Mahomes is Mahomes. He's going to go down as one of the best ever. So I think his name is having a little bit higher praise. But again, his team's undefeated, so I got to give him credit for that as well.
One more comment, Carson, from PA Scratcher Guy about Mahomes. He's saying he will have a rough day on Christmas Day. And Trevor just put a comment in there saying Kurt isn't a fan of Lamar Jackson unless it comes to fantasy football. I think Mahomes will throw the ball more with the Hopkins accusation.
Absolutely. Listen, I love him in fantasy football. I don't want him as my quarterback on my team, but I'll take him as a fantasy quarterback. Yeah. Kyler Murray. Give me all those guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carson. I just want to get those couple comments in.
Yeah, no, we'll switch gears really fast. Jets fall to 2-5 on this season. They've got one of the most stacked rosters in the NFL right now. And there's an interesting thing that I came across this morning. When Brett Favre left the Green Bay Packers, he went to the New York Jets and he really struggled. And you're kind of seeing this now a little bit with Aaron Rodgers. He goes from Green Bay to the New York Jets, and they're 2-5 right now. Now, Favre ended up leaving to go to Minnesota and kind of had a re-spark in his career after he left the Jets. But I thought this was kind of ironic how you had two former Green Bay Packer quarterbacks leave from Green Bay, great careers, to the Jets, and then they've struggled their first year. And it's kind of ironic. You're seeing a mirror image almost. But yeah, Jets 2-5 guys, panic button meter scale 1 to 10 on the Jets' season overall right now. 1 being no, it's not a huge deal, they'll be fine, and 10 being I'm hit the panic button, get rid of everyone. Kenny.
It's funny. Graham answered this one too, and he's giving it an 8 out of 10. He feels like this will work out just as unimpressively as Favre's Jets tenure. So he texted me that last night. You had the same thing about Brett Favre that you've seen. I'm with Graham. I'm going to go about an 8. 2-5. You've really dug yourself in a hole here. You got Graham and Kurt's Broncos, who sit at the 7 seed right now with 3 losses. You're 2 losses behind the 7 seed. That's a long way to come up. I know there's a lot of time yet, but I'm maybe even closer to a 9, but I'll go with 8 right now, Carson. I'll go with Graham, what he said, 8 as well.
Kurt.
Nope. I'm going to go 2. At Patriots, home versus the Texans, at the Cardinals, home versus the Colts, home versus the Seahawks, at the Dolphins, at Jacksonville, home versus the Rams, at Buffalo, home versus Miami. I think 2 or 3, I think they can lose 2 of those games, still get 10 wins. And again, a team like them, as long as they get in the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be phased if he has to go to Kansas City, if he has to go to Baltimore. The team's going to play defense. They're going to run the ball. They're built for the playoffs, right? Now you got Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, you got a run game, and you got Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I'm taking them over every team in the AFC. Who else are you taking? Baltimore doesn't run the ball. Mahomes is,
Wait a minute, Kurt.
Baltimore doesn't
They
run
don't
the
run
ball, Kurt.
Whoa, I'm sorry. Time out. In the postseason, they don't run the ball. They should run the ball. They should run the ball.
They
Last
will
year,
with Henry.
I hope they run the ball, because if they do, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. But Todd Monken, I don't trust Todd. They should tie Todd Monken up that game and not let him call plays in the championship game.
Movie rookie of the year where they tie the coach in the locker room.
Yeah, exactly. Tie the coach in the locker room. But I'm telling you, I'm going to say no. I really am. I think once this team just wins and gets 2, they're going to click. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to go 2.
Paul, your panic meter on the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going with, no offense, Kurt, I'm going with Kenny and Graham. It's got to be 8 or 9. Listen, there's only one quarterback that hits 40 and plays like he's an all-pro, and that's been Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers, they just said he came out. He has another injury between his ankle and knee injuries. Now he has a hamstring injury. He does not look like the quarterback, the Aaron Rodgers that we know. There's something aside from injuries. There's an issue there. And yeah, Adams adding to their offense is going to help them. But it just seems like the whole team, the defense is not playing well. They didn't play well on Monday night. But it's just, there's just something missing. Something is wrong. And they have an easy schedule. I would say Sunday is a must win. They cannot lose to the Patriots. Yeah. If they could lose to the Patriots, then that's a big problem. But I think there's issues there.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you guys. I think I'm kind of right in the middle, more towards Kurt's side, more like a 3 or a 4. Like Paul said, if you lose the Patriots, then it becomes a serious problem. Because again, I think 9-8, 10-7, that probably gets you the wild card if you're the Jets. So you got to probably win 9 of your next 12 games, pretty much, to get in that final wild card spot with the start that you had. So again, Aaron Rodgers, those weapons, I'm not concerned. But I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. Real quick, rapid fire, absolute last one before we move on here, because I know we're kind of running low on time. Boys, did Bronny James deserve to be drafted? Yes or no, really quick. Kurt?
Absolutely not.
Paul?
No.
Kenny?
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to say no. And if obviously LeBron wasn't on the team, he wouldn't be drafted.
I agree 100%. Thought it was really cool. They shared their moment last night. But let's face it, Bronny's a G League player. And you could see it in JJ Redick's eyes. Let's just get this over with so we can continue to win basketball games. So that's my thoughts, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Carson.
Thanks. I'll catch up real quick on a couple comments. The Jets will always be the Jets from Graham. Plus, Rodgers seems like a diva. Perfect for the Jets. Couple from Trevor. Carson, please tell Ben Johnson that Sam Laporta is still on the team. Lions have a lot of weapons. There's more fantasy football in our. We get a lot of fantasy football talking here. We might have a fantasy football show just to talk about our league. He's saying the concern level with the Jets is a 7 for him. Why did they fire Salah again? Seems like that defense has taken a step back since he was let go. Jets are giving Rodgers way too much power, in his opinion.
Gotcha.
Real quick about LeBron James. Real quick, I'm not a fan of him, but what he did to his son, I don't know if anybody's seen it, was hysterical.
Yeah,
Pranked his son with the was it Fruity Pebbles? I
Fruity
think
Pebbles,
it was.
yeah.
Filled his car up with Fruity Pebbles. When he opened the door, all the cereal came out. It was probably hundreds and hundreds of boxes of Fruity Pebbles in his car, so he couldn't go anywhere. I thought that was pretty cool. Kurt, we'll go around the horn with this rapid fire. Patrick wants to know: Broncos have any chance to make playoffs, Kurt? Yes.
Yeah,
No?
I think they do. They got a tough schedule. They got to win their home games, and they got to win games. Like, listen, like you got to beat the Panthers at home. You got to be able to, go out and beat Vegas again. You got to split with Kansas City. But absolutely, listen, their offense is going to get better. Bo Nix is going to get better. Sean Payton's play calling with him is going to get better. But they got that defense. If they could run the ball like they did the other night, they don't have to run it for over 200 yards, but run it for over 100, 125, 130. And Bo Nix make plays, that defense is going to come to play. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know what? Graham's agreeing with you. Graham sent this to me earlier. Right now, you're the 7 seed, so you're in the playoffs right now. So you just got to keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to be there. Yep. And there's our good friend Jay Cook, Kurt, saying hello. Good evening, Jay. Welcome.
I want to ask Jay if he bought his Russell Wilson jersey yet. What's up, Jay?
Jay, you're more than welcome to join us Monday on New York Giants football talk. Your Steelers are playing our Giants. Love to see you if you even want to join us for a little bit, Jay. Always a pleasure. Patrick saying we believe. All right, guys, we got about 10 minutes left in the show, and then we'll tonight, Kurt, you guys are doing All In on High School Sports tonight this evening. So
yes,
we're going to step aside around 8 o'clock for you guys, so you guys can get set up for 8:30. But want to do some college football, and we do some fun ones each week. And this year has been crazy, guys, in my opinion, all around. We had big upset. We've had surprise teams. Georgia beat the number 1 team. So I'm not going to do our top 6 this week. I think they're all going to be similar. But what I did in the AP top 25 is a lot of Cinderella teams are still out there. And I want you guys to answer if we've all seen that fairy tale Cinderella. We all read the book, cartoon, whatever you want. Cinderella. Cinderella had a glass slipper, and then the carriage turned into a pumpkin at midnight. So I want to know are these Cinderella teams that I have listed going to continue with their glass slipper, or are they going to turn into a pumpkin this week? And we got time, so I'll do a few. I'm looking at the time. So Boise State, Kurt, you're first on my screen. Boise State travels to UNLV.
I'm just shocked that you even know about Cinderella, because you must have been on that studying that an hour today.
We got a Heisman Trophy candidate over there in Boise State. UNLV's been a Cinderella of their own, so 2 Cinderellas actually facing each other.
What? Think about it.
On Friday night, actually.
Kenny, who's the number 1 team in the country? Didn't they go toe to toe with Oregon already?
They did.
Why not? Why can't they? Absolutely. I think they could play it. They got the best back, the Heisman Trophy, like you said. I'm going to say, yeah, they're legit. They're real.
All right, you know what? I got time to go around the panel. Paul, you think the slipper is going to stay on?
Yes, absolutely.
Carson?
Yeah, Ashton Genty.
Yeah, you know what? UNLV's tough, though, and UNLV's home, but that's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a fun one to watch. Definitely agree with you guys, too. Change the order. I'll go Paul, next one. Texas A&M loses week 1 to Notre Dame, and they haven't lost since. So that slipper, is it going to shatter against LSU this week?
Yeah.
Or are they going to turn into a pumpkin?
They're going down to LSU, tough place to play. I think Brian Kelly's going to have his Tigers ready. I think Texas A&M is going to turn into a pumpkin this week.
Carson, you think they're going to turn into a pumpkin?
Oh, I'll go with Texas A&M. I think they'll keep their momentum rolling.
I'm with Carson. I think the slipper's going to stay on this team. LSU's been squeaking by some games. I think LSU's going to.
What time is that game? Is it a night game?
That's a good question.
Because if it's a night game, I mean, they're very hard to beat there at night.
I think it is. But I'm not 100% certain.
Yes, it is 7:30.
Yeah, no, Ken. I think there's no. I don't think they can. I don't think.
Pumpkin.
Oh wait, no. The game's at A&M.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
the
it
game-
at AM or at?
It's at A&M. Yeah,
thought
it's a
it was.
College Station.
Oh, okay.
My
You know what?
fault, my fault.
I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna take A&M. I think A&M wins
You want
that.
to change yours, Paul?
No, I'm going to stay with LSU.
All right, so we got 3 slippers and 1 pumpkin for A&M. Carson, BYU having a magical run there. They were projected number 15, I think, in the Big 12 preseason.
Yeah.
Undefeated, on top there with another Big 12 team that I'm going to get to in a second. But do they keep their Cinderella run going against Central Florida this week at Central Florida?
Yeah, I think they will. But as the season progresses, I'd be shocked if they made the playoffs. So yes, but long term, no.
Like it. I'm going to say they're going to keep that glass slipper going another week as well. Kurt.
This game's scary because, again, you have a team that's lost, 3 or 4 in a row, right? They're 3 and 4. You have an undefeated team going in. And why is Central Florida a 2-point favorite, right? Like, everyone's begging you to take BYU. It's so easy. But, does Vegas know something? So, I don't like this game. I would be I would definitely be afraid if I was a BYU fan, because I could see UFC. I'll say it keeps going, but be very careful because something's very tricky up in there for them to be a 2-point favorite.
Gotcha. Paul.
Yeah, Central Florida has a pretty good offense, but I'm going to go with BYU. I think they're still going to have their glass slipper this week.
Awesome. Carson, I'm going to give you this question from Patrick. He wants to know, how do you think Coach Primetime's doing over there in Colorado?
Man, he's enjoying that paycheck. I'll tell you what, because as soon as Shador and Travis Hunter leave for the NFL, he's out of Colorado.
Kurt and I were talking about this. We think he's going to go to a Florida college somewhere, whether it's Florida, Florida State. Yep. Miami's doing good, so I don't think Miami's going to get rid of Cristobal, but I think he's going to go somewhere in Florida. Watch out for Florida State.
Yeah.
Going back to his old alma mater. All right, I got a couple more, guys. Kurt, Navy not going to Paul's Notre Dame. Navy facing Notre Dame at MetLife.
Yeah.
Does the Cinderella end here for one of the armed forces?
This is tough, man, because again, it's so like people just don't understand like how hard it is to play against like an offense like that. You see it on all levels, but we coach against in high school, and it's just like it's like a machine, like if you just don't do everything right, you got gaps open. I'm gonna say no because I just think the talent level is a lot better with Notre Dame. But just be careful. Yeah. But I'll say that Notre Dame gets them.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to let Paul go last. Carson, you think the slipper shatters for Navy?
Wow. Yeah, I think they do. I think this is their first legit test. I think Notre Dame's going to get them.
And Paul, you're Notre Dame. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting because I went to a Navy Notre Dame game in the Meadowlands, probably the last time they played there, and Navy ran the hell over them. I mean, it was a total slaughter by Navy. And I've seen Navy do that to Notre Dame in other games over the years. But that being said, I think Notre Dame must and will gear up and stop their running attack, and they're going to beat them on Saturday afternoon.
Gotcha. Let's do these rapid fire style. I'll give you guys each one, and then we'll get our closing thoughts in. So, Kurt, I'm going to give you, because this is your boy, a couple years ago, Iowa State. Do they continue their Cinderella run against Texas Tech at Texas Tech?
I want to say no because I don't like them, but I don't know. I don't trust Texas Tech. Texas Tech I think Baylor just blew their doors off at Texas Tech. So I'll say Iowa State, but it's coming. That's coming soon, but they go another week.
Let's see here. I'm going to give Carson Big Ten. Indiana keep their magical run going against Washington. They're hosting Washington.
Yeah, I love Indiana, man. I legit think they can make the college football playoffs. So well coached. That program's definitely turned around the past couple years. So yeah, I think they definitely can keep going.
Paul, I'll give you the Armed Forces, the other Army, the other undefeated. And we talked about it last week. Army, Navy, again, man, if they stay undefeated, that's going to be a wild scene down here in Baltimore. But they're facing Air Force. And surprisingly, Air Force, the worst out of the three. They're usually the best out of the three.
I know. Believe me, in the past, Air Force has always had pretty good teams. I mean, it would make the Air Force's year if they could beat another service academy. But I think Army is just, compared to Air Force, I think they have a much better team. So I'm gonna go with the ground and Army and the glass slipper this week.
And I got one more that I'll do. SMU ranked number 20, traveling to Duke. I watched Duke last week against Florida State. Manny Diaz has this team playing. They're playing with only one loss. They might end up in the top 25 after this week. This one's going to be a pumpkin, guys. SMU is going to be a pumpkin after this week. That was a little college football. I like switching it up for everybody. Trevor wants to know, Kurt, are you doing a Broncos show this week?
I'm going to try. It's a lot tonight. I am going to try. If I can't do tonight, I might do maybe tomorrow, Kenny. I might do, but we got to see what time we get done tonight, because we got 2 shows tonight with the high school. So I'm going to try. But if I can't, then maybe I'll squeeze in on Thursday.
All right. And then real quick, Kurt, because we get closing thoughts in. I know I'm going to be doing Wits and Wagers. I invited Carson and Joey on. We'll see what their schedules look like. It's going to be 6 Eastern tomorrow night. I'm going to be on for Wits and Wagers. We'll see if anybody else can join us, but be sure to tune in for that. But Kurt, closing thoughts. Take it away.
Yeah, closing thoughts. I'm just going to start by I'm pumped up. Listen, obviously Broncos 4:00 this week. Carolina must win, should win. And again, these are games we have to win, but my focus is Friday night. I'm so pumped up. Those friggin' Indiana Pacers, you know what? You're not playing against backups now. You're playing against a real team. Tyrese Halliburton, listen, we're going to boo you right out of that garden, and I'm just pumped. Jen and I will be at that garden. Listen, I'm just going to say this, and Mr. Rosen knows what I'm talking about. Big weekend at the Garden this week, Mr. Rosen, right?
I know.
Big weekend at the Garden, and I am meeting including Sunday.
I understand exactly what you're saying, so I totally agree. I'm not going to
watch that one live, but I will watch that after that'll be on Sunday night. I'll be on review on Sunday night. So
I hear you 100%.
Let's go, Knicks, and Mr. Carson Shear.
Yeah, great show as always, guys. Shout out to Kenny for putting together the agenda each week. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Love talking sports with you all. Good luck to your teams this week. And yeah, let's go Knicks.
Mr. Rosen.
Thanks, guys. Great show as usual. Thanks, everybody, for participating. Comments, questions, always a pleasure. And Kurt and Jen, have a great time Friday night. Thinking about you guys. Let's come back with a win.
Oh, so real quick, I got to tell you guys, Jen is part of I remember I turned 50 November 22nd, but for part of my birthday gift, she got a little surprise. She got us 2 nights stay in the city. So we're actually staying in the city on Friday and Saturday. Nice. So
wow.
Yeah, she got me tickets. We're going to go to the Auburn Bar on Sunday, Garden. We're going to go to the Garden on we're going to Garden Friday night. Saturday, we're going to go to Auburn Bar for the first half, then watch the Yankee World Series somewhere in a bar somewhere there. And Sunday, we were going to go and stay for the Bronco Bar, but obviously there's an event going on at the Garden where it's going to be mayhem. So we're like, now let's just get out. We'll watch the Bronco game at home, and we'll hit the Bronco Bar up at another time. But yeah, so that's that. So we're staying Friday, Saturday. So I'm pumped up about that.
Nice.
And Mr.
Enjoy.
Patrick.
Well, Trevor's saying next week's Halloween week, boys. Can't wait to see your Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Little spoiler. I have to work next Wednesday, but I'm going to send Kurt a video of my costumes. So I'll have a costume on and do a little intro with everybody. And have
oh, yeah.
Are
we dressing up?
Guys, oh yeah, well, 100%. But Kenny would win. All Kenny has to do is just FaceTime in from work, and he would just say, "Look, I work in the hospital." That's a cost because all you're doing is listening to shows, doing this. You're always commenting anyway. So it's like you're acting like you're working. So you would win.
That's it.
Yeah, we're
Absolutely.
dressing up, Paul. We're dressing up.
Okay. All right. If we're all doing it, then let's
Carson,
do
you
it.
in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
All right, we're
Yep.
in.
All right. Then we're all in.
Thank yous for everybody for listening. Trevor, Michael, Graham, behind the scenes, great job with
Thank you, Graham.
keeping the chat clean and helping us out behind the scenes. PA Scratcher guys saying bye. Patrick, goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. I know I missed a lot of people. Eddie Murphy, Jay Cook, just to look, Luby chimed in a little
Luby.
earlier. Yep. Marty, good friend Marty from back, know Marty a long
PA
time.
Scratcher.
Absolutely. But Knicks are up against the World Series though, Kurt, but I'll be looking and watching and enjoying, and hope you and Jen have a great time. And we will see everybody next week. Wits and Wagers tomorrow, possibly Broncos, and all in on high school sports at 8:30.